Hi everyone, it looks like we're about to get started. Just a reminder to keep your microphone on mute throughout this session because this meeting is being recorded. Please don't worry about taking any notes. We'll be sending the recording after the webinar ends, so if you need to drop off at any point, please feel free. And you're more than welcome to type in any questions you might have throughout the session through the Ask a Question pod, and we'll be sure to answer them during the Q&A session. Welcome to today's webinar for the Master of Science in Software Development program at Boston University Metropolitan College, also known as the MSSD program. I wanted to start by introducing myself. My name is Rebecca Markarian, and I am the Assistant Program Coordinator for the Master of Science in Software Development. I will be moderating today's webinar along with Dr. Eric Brody, who is an Associate Professor of Computer Science at Boston University Metropolitan College. I wanted to start by giving you a little background about myself. I'm a proud alumna of Boston University, and I have an extensive background working in student services, admissions, and communications. I also have expertise in assessing the needs of candidates and providing details to assist in research about online and on-campus programs. I will be working with you throughout the application process, so please feel free to call or email me anytime with questions. That's what I'm here for. In addition to his work as a professor at Boston University Metropolitan College, Dr. Brody is also the coordinator of the MSSD program. He specializes in software development and design and has taught at Boston University since 1990. I'm going to pass along the microphone to Professor Brody so he can introduce himself.
Hello, I'm Eric Brody. A little bit about myself. I've written several books, including one about software engineering, another one about software design. I've consulted in industry and done research for many years, and I've taught many courses in the Boston University curriculum in computer science and IT and software development. I look forward to listening to and answering some of your questions.
Thanks, Professor Brody. Let's review today's agenda. Today, we'll cover an overview of both Boston University and Metropolitan College. I'll also refer to Metropolitan College as MET for short. After that, Professor Brody will talk in more detail about the Master of Science in Software Development, which is offered both on campus and online. Next, we will cover a career outlook for software development. Then, we'll talk about the application process, dates, and deadlines. After that, we will review tuition and financial aid. Finally, we'll have time for a Q&A at the end of the session, but please feel free to type in any questions into the chat pod throughout the session. Boston University is a well-established university with over 140 years of leading education, and it is rated 32nd in the world by U.S. News for universities, and that includes all universities across the globe, so we're very excited about this ranking. BU consists of 17 schools and colleges with over 3,000 faculty members and 6,000 staff members. Metropolitan College is one of those 17 schools. Whether you enroll in an online or on-campus program, your diploma will read exactly the same way. And the curriculum and faculty is the same whether you're taking online courses or on-campus courses. And when you graduate from Boston University, you will join a network of over 300,000 alumni. It's been the mission of MET to broaden the reach of Boston University through our part-time, distance, online, and evening programs. MET is diverse within Boston University, with over 4,000 students from all around the world and 30,000 MET alumni, which makes for an excellent networking opportunity. We are committed to curriculum that is focused on emerging trends with a mix of theory and practical application. And all of our courses are taught by research-based faculty and industry professionals. MET offers over 70 undergraduate and graduate degree and certificate programs that are top-ranked by U.S. News and World Report. There are also many opportunities for our students to tailor their degree to their future goals. At MET, there is a commitment to teaching, learning, and inspiration. Since 1979, our forward-looking computer science department curriculum has focused on emerging trends. We have a mix of theory and practical application. As I mentioned earlier, all of our courses are taught by research-based faculty and industry professionals. We are proud to have programs that are certified by the Center on National Security Systems and the Project Management Institute. Now I'm going to pass the microphone along to Professor Brody so he can give more details on the MSSD program.
Thank you, Rebecca. Our master's degree in software development is one of very few of its kind in the United States. We offer it on campus and also online. We encourage hands-on project-based work. By the time you finish the program, you should have a portfolio of projects that you can show to your boss, to potential employers, and you should be very proud of what you have by the time this finishes. We use several different methods. We encourage the agile method in software development. Unlike boot camps, this is a program in depth that prepares you for a lifetime career in the field. To get in, you don't have to have a technical background. We supply you with the prerequisite course, CS300. If you already have the background, then of course you don't need it. You can go right into the program. The structure of the program consists of a preparatory course for students who need it, Foundations of Modern Computing. If you have no technical background, that's the course you take. If you do have background, the course covers programming, it covers some discrete mathematics, it covers some operating systems. If you have the background, you can go right into the program, which consists of 8 courses or 32 credits. 6 of those are required. We want to make sure that you get those 6 courses and that you understand those thoroughly. And then you have 2 general electives that you can pick from a selected list. The program can be completed if you're on campus in a year. Online, it'll take you about 18 months to complete. These 6 courses that students are required to take in the core curriculum consist, first of all, of a programming course in Python, information structures with Python, and then a course which combines data structures, the way data is organized, and algorithms, a key component of today's IT world. And then it also requires an advanced Java programming course that builds on your Java knowledge. The 4th course is in development, learning the agile software method and getting practice with it, working in a team. Then a course follows in software design and software design patterns, a really useful skill in building systems as a developer. And the other course that is required is a course in information systems analysis and design. Here we cover requirements, we cover unified modeling language. You have 2 courses to choose from the general elective list. The first course you can pick is web development at the server side. This requires permission of the instructor because we don't offer credit for the prerequisites that many people already have anyway. The second possibility you can pick from is QA, testing, and also security management. This ensures reliability in software development. You can pick a database design course, and then there's the possibility of a mobile application development course, which I teach. That's basically Android development. We have a lot of fun with that. And then the final possibility you can pick from is another internet-based course, Rich Internet Application Development, for which we have a prerequisite of HTML, which many people coming into the program already know, and we'll give you a short tutorial on that if you don't. The prerequisite course, CS300, which is called Foundations of Modern Computing, is designed for students with no technical background, in particular no programming background at all. If you don't know anything about programming, that's okay. If you don't know anything about discrete mathematics at all, there's a segment of that in this course. And likewise, if you don't know how operating systems are constructed at all, there is several modules in this course actually on operating systems. So the course combines Python programming all of the 7 weeks. You'll learn by being part of a student group. You'll have a facilitator who will take care of your instruction, day-to-day help with any problems you have. There's an instructor for the overall course as well. And so you'll learn in the first 3 weeks, you'll learn some discrete mathematics along with Python. In the second 3 or 4 weeks, you will get into computer systems along with Python. So you have Python all the way through as a kind of underlying strata for the course. And we offer this quite frequently, as you see on the last bullet. We're very focused on what we want for you as a student in the program and what outcome we want for you. The first one is that you should be able to appreciate and understand that you're in an environment with stakeholders in a business or industrial environment. And you need to understand what your stakeholders need from the application that you are developing as part of your team. Secondly, you need to be able to work within a team. And this is an important skill, an important habit to learn. So we try to encourage teams during the curriculum that you work with other students. They're distributed either locally or different parts of the country, sometimes different parts of the world, which mirrors the way software teams are these days. Of course, you need to be very competent in being able to produce applications. We want you to be able to produce. Those programs should be secure. They should be robust so they don't crash. They should be reliable. You should be able to design those faithfully and thoroughly. You should be able to code carefully. And then finally, you should also be prepared to take over a team so you know from the inside out what is involved in software development and be able to manage a team, perhaps not right away, perhaps after a couple of years, but in multiple locations, multiple languages, perhaps even multiple development projects. All right, let me talk about the career opportunities in software development. There are a multitude of them. First of all, healthcare is becoming more and more software-oriented. Analyzing data, software that controls and assists in hospital environments. Business and finance also are becoming more and more software-oriented, relying more and more on algorithms, and they need software developers. Security, as we all know, is a pervasive problem. It's a pervasive issue at all levels of society. And there's a great demand for developers who are cognizant and able to integrate security. And finally, we know that there's always a demand for defense applications, and our developers are going to be ready to take roles within the defense industry. These are our numbers that we reproduce from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. In terms of software developers, is a projected growth of 17% over the next decade or so. There's an 11% projected growth for people in computer information research. The median annual pay this year of software developers is just over 100,000. These are healthy numbers, and we expect that they'll remain healthy for years to come.
Thanks, Professor Brody. So now we're going to talk a little bit about next steps on your application. The application is online and it's very easy to do. I'm available to help you every step of the way through getting that done. So really, if you have any questions, please feel free to email or call me directly. So we do not require the GMAT or the GRE, but if you have taken them and you would like to send them to us, you're more than welcome to. The next thing you will need is a personal statement essay. So the personal statement essay should be about 500 words, and it should be discussing your motivation for study. So for example, why you're applying to the program, what are your career goals, and what you expect to gain from the program. So the personal statement essay is really a great opportunity for the admissions committee to learn more about you. Our most successful applicants have a GPA of 3.0 or higher, but that does not mean that applicants with lower GPAs haven't been admitted. Your personal statement essay is a great opportunity for you to explain or address any concerns you may have to the admissions committee. We'll also require 3 letters of recommendation. Letters should be written by a supervisor, past or present, or a coworker. You'll want to choose someone who can best speak to your personal achievements and potential. However, if you received your bachelor's degree in the last 3 years, then you will want to include a letter from a professor as well. the application makes it extremely easy to request letters of recommendation. You simply type in the name and email of the individual you wish to write the letter of recommendation, and then an email with the link and instructions on how to complete the letter will be generated and sent directly to your recommenders. And you do not have to wait for letters of recommendation to be completed before submitting your application. You'll also want to make sure that you have a current resume, so please make sure that yours is up to date. The admissions committee also requires transcripts from each and every college and university that you have attended. For example, if you transferred from a college, don't always assume that those credits are going to be listed on the transcript. Say you transferred from UConn to Tufts. While your Tufts transcript may list your transfer credits from UConn, the admissions committee will still need transcripts from both universities. So we'll need to see original transcripts from when you took each course. And now is also a really great time for you to ask for letters of recommendation as well, especially if you plan on reaching out to a professor. So you do have the option to speed things up. You can upload a copy of your official or unofficial transcript in the application if you happen to have one at home. We can submit the unofficial transcript to the admissions committee, but that's with the understanding that if accepted, we will need official transcripts. A TOEFL score is required for applicants who received a bachelor's degree in a country where English is not the primary language. The score submitted must be from an exam taken within 2 years of applying to the program. And if you have any questions about this at all, please feel free to get in touch with us. Any transcripts that are not in English will need a WES evaluation. We would ask that if you have a degree you obtained from outside the United States, that you just get in touch with us so we can help you through this process. And finally, the application fee is $85. Once you upload your resume and personal statement and pay your application fee, you can submit your application. We encourage you to submit your application materials early. On this slide, I have included some important dates for upcoming online and on-campus sessions. While admission for the on-campus program is rolling, we recommend applying early. So listed here are the part-time tuition and fees for the 2016 to 2017 academic year. Tuition is assessed per credit, and all of our courses for the MSSD program will be 4 credits. So graduate level courses numbered 600 to 799 are $830 per credit, so the cost per course will be $3,320. For online courses, please note that there is a $60 technology fee per credit, which will total $240 per course. And finally, there is a $60 student services fee per semester as well. Books are at an additional cost, and the list will be sent out about 1 month prior to your course's beginning. We're also very fortunate at Met that we have our own financial aid office, which is dedicated to our own graduate students for financial aid and scholarships. The contact information for the office is included on this slide for you to reference. And if you would like to get started looking into funding options for your degree, we recommend reaching out ASAP to make sure that you have all of the information that you need to complete any forms you may need for grants or private loans that could be available. I can see that a lot of questions came in, so thank you to everyone who left a question. We're going to answer some of these now. We probably won't get to everyone's question, but Professor Brody and I will respond by email if we do not answer your question verbally. So I can see Joe asked, Professor Brody, how is this program different from a software engineering degree? Thanks, Joe. That's a great question. Professor?
Well, in engineering, you're given the goals and the requirements, what you want accomplished in advance. That's how engineering works. And then you create a design to satisfy those requirements. In software development, it's your job to gather the requirements and to understand what your customer, what your stakeholders want and need. That's an important part of your job, and we give you education in that field. So it's not really engineering because of that major reason. That's why it's software development.
Great. I can see that Sarah wrote, I was a CS major and received my undergrad degree 7 years ago. I've been working since graduation and I have not put my computer science skills to work. Would I be required to take CS 300? That's a great question, Sarah. Would you be able to answer that, Professor?
Sure. Sarah, you're not actually required to take the prerequisite course. You can if you want to. That's perfectly fine. I mean, you've done discrete math, you've done the operating systems part, you've done programming. If you want to take the course and brush up on Python, that's half the course. You're certainly welcome to do that. I think you'll profit from it, but you don't have to take that preparatory course.
It looks like Darren asked, is CS 300 offered on campus? I can answer that for you, Darren. At this time, CS 300 is not offered on campus. After you successfully complete the course and are officially admitted, then you can begin the degree program. So it looks like Christina wrote that I'm having difficulty reaching my professor to write a letter of recommendation. What can I do? So I would say if you're unable to reach a faculty member, that we can accept a letter from a professional contact in its place. Chris asked, if I decide to go part-time on campus or online, how many hours of study per week is expected to be successful? Thanks for your question, Chris. Online part-time students can expect to spend about 20 to 30 hours per week studying. Would you be able to answer that in regards to on-campus students, Professor Brody?
Well, the on-campus class lasts about twice as long as the online class. So, roughly speaking, it's about half that per week. It depends on the individual student. If you've got a reasonable technical background, you're going to spend a little bit less, and it depends on the course as well. But that gives you a rough idea.
It looks like Patrick wrote in to ask, do you offer career placement opportunities? So both our online and on-campus classes provide opportunities for you to network with your classmates. We really promote student project portfolios throughout the degree program. So students probably have the most potent tool for securing jobs, which is proof of ability and accomplishment. You'll also find that many of our faculty and facilitators are in the industry and they've been there before, so they have really direct knowledge of what's needed. You'll also find that the computer science posts jobs from time to time, so do keep an eye out on their website. We also have tech talks, which are job-oriented presentations by technical managers. And from time to time, the department receives requests from managers and former students for new hires, so make sure you stay in touch with them as well. You'll also note that some students are themselves managers, or they may know of vacancies at their own companies, and our alumni are often very eager to help. Thank you everyone for sending in your questions. If Professor Brody and I, again, just to repeat, didn't get to any of your questions, we'd be happy to correspond with you via email or phone call to answer any and all questions. So I know that was a lot of information today. So again, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to stick around and answer those for you. And again, I will be following up with the webinar recording along with some additional links and information. You'll notice that my contact information is listed up on the slide, so please don't hesitate to reach out, and I'm happy to help you throughout the whole application process. And thank you all for attending today.